Some people call me the spawn of a Satan, ooh, 'cause I'm a master of sin.
What's going on, fellas? Gun Porn Media up here in New Hampshire. Bringing you another pornorific gun today. So this is the Sig Mpx. This is a registered SBR. I wanted to wait to do a video on it till I got my tax stamp back. I didn't exactly, wasn't a fan of shooting it in pistol configuration, but I did do it for a little while, because what else are you going to do? You want to shoot it. So it is a beautiful gun. If you're familiar with the AR platform, you're going to be able to use this fantastically. And coming from someone who has shot a decent amount of MP5, more than some other people, I mean, you know, for civilians anyways, I've shot more than most people. This is better. I mean, if you're like me, you're really used to the AR controls, and that is what makes this stand out. It's a piston operating system. I'm not sure if there's plenty of reviews out there on how they work and this and that. What I want to point out is how fucking sexy this thing is. I mean, just look at it. It really is a nice looking gun. And not only that, it shoots great. It's been 100% reliable, other than a few quirks, which, you know, if you want to know, we can go over them. First off, I'll just say this: the cheek weld sucks. So your face is going on this metal right here. So that is not great. Okay. So, but luckily we're talking about 9mm, so this is not gonna blow your cheek off or anything like that. It's very easy to manage and shoots very well. So just check out some of my other videos for footage. I mean, I'm not that great. I'm probably gonna keep it separate as far as you know, mixing and editing and doing anything crazy and throwing some footage in here. You know, eventually I'll learn how to do that, but for now I'll just keep them separate, do the slow-mo shoots and whatnot. So this is a Sig Pistol Grip. It actually comes with one of these. It sits about right here generally. I sawed that off. I really like the look of this, but it was too close together. It was like smushing my fingers up. So I sawed that off, smoothed it out with the best gunsmithing tool ever, the Dremel. Just kidding. Love you guys. M4 carbine. So this is the one it comes with. Now that's plenty of space for me with the way that I grip the gun. All right, this works out better. Now you can keep it how it was, and it kind of has that MP5K look, which is a good look. That's why I really like the look of this. This is light, this is plastic, polymer, whatever you want to call it. I am rocking the BCM rails right now. I've got an IWC key mod sling attachment on there. Not that I prefer that. I mean, of course, I'd probably use BCM, but I just had this. So that's why it's on there. So why? It works just fine. I see no need to change it. Change the grip to a BCM, obviously. Put the stock on there once I got my tax stamp back. I am running the stock Sig iron sights. They're okay. My front sight tool can't turn this. It doesn't reach down deep enough, so I don't know if there's something different about their sights. But otherwise, they're similar to, you know, Troy's or Diamond Heads or something, except they do not lock. You can just slap them down, kind of like Knight's Armor, which I'm okay with. They are a different height than standard AR sights. They're gonna co-witness better with an absolute co-witness. And actually on here, I have a lower 1/3. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Why they do, Sig does the things that they do, I don't really know. But either way, so how I used it with this while it was in the pistol configuration, and it wasn't terrible. And I actually had the length to pull pretty much right on to where that was going to be. Little did I know. I mean, I'm not a huge person, but this is okay for me. If you're a bigger person, this stock might not be a good choice. I'm an in-tight shooter, and that's the way that it works. But this was, as much as I hate this thing, this is better than shooting it with nothing on there. So I would this was like $100 for the whole thing, the tube, the adapter, and this. And I have another one for an AR too, which now I don't need because I actually have a registered lower. So, but this I'm going to hang on to in case I do, in case I get an MCX next year. I'm thinking I might, and probably going to SBR it, of course. So, what else can I say about it? So here's a couple bad things. All right, this is pretty safety. The trigger sucks. Okay, it's not a precision gun, so I'm not worried about the trigger. You can change the trigger, but here's what happens, and this is, nobody mentions this for some reason. There is, because of the recoil system that's in here, it has severe trigger slap. So your stock trigger has this housing over the back of the trigger. So when the bolt goes back and hits the hammer, it slams against that, and this part takes all the force. If you put in another trigger, your trigger takes that force, which is fine. I think your trigger's going to stand up to it, and that's fine. But you feel it on your trigger finger. It literally feels like the trigger's coming back and slapping against your finger, and it may not bother you, but to me it feels almost like my trigger finger's being electrocuted. It sucks. So I put the stock trigger back in. The other thing is, if you have more than 10 rounds in a magazine, like say 15, 20, 25 rounds, it is very difficult to insert a magazine on a closed bolt. If you don't understand that sentence, you need to shoot more to have a better understanding of things. But I'll break it down very quickly for you. Bolt closed, forward. Putting in a magazine here right now is when it's very difficult. And I'm talking difficult like you can't just put it in. You have to put it in and then hit it. You have to hit it. Okay? So I don't like that. But a 10-round magazine, it'll work. But any more than that, it's extremely difficult. It can be done. But regardless, you're probably going to want to load with your bolt back, slam it forward. It's fine. The other thing that happens too is when you're charging this thing, right about there, well, it's not really doing it right now, but there's a part right at the end where it just gets a little tougher sometimes. You get that last half inch is just a kind of tough. So my recommendation is to always be very aggressive. Be always very aggressive with it. Now, you'll hear people complain about right here. I don't know if that shows or not. There's like, it wears right there on the receiver a little bit. And to that, I say, shut the fuck up, you little pussy. Who gives a shit if that wears right there? Are you fucking joking? Are you going to shoot the thing? Or are you going to do photo shoots with it? I mean, seriously, you will never, ever, ever see me complain about some shit like that. I mean, it's a fucking tool. It drives me crazy that people even complain about that. First time I took this out shooting, I blew the detent off the dust cover, and I had to have that part replaced. They sent me a whole door, but they sent me the Generation 1 door, the retards. So I just took it apart and used the detent and this out of it, so that's fine. And then I still had to grind this down a little bit, and when I say grind, I mean file. So it didn't violently close, so it wasn't going to happen again. Here we go. See this little mark right there? I don't know if you can see that. That came with that. Brand new from the factory. You think I sent it back to Sig? I was like, can you fix my... Shut up. It's a tool. So, for those of you who don't know, super cool thing is this. That is it to take off the barrel. The handguard. The barrel comes off with two Quirks right here. Then you can put on a short barrel, screw your suppressor on, put your handguard back on, and then it looks like you're running SD, so your suppressor will be sticking out this much. I do have a suppressor coming for this. It's a Griffin, Griffin Resistance with a 3-lug. That's the other thing I did. It comes with a bird cage, I think, on here. I can't remember. but I put a 3-lug on there in preparation for the future. Yeah, so that's it. It shoots super smooth. It does have a piston system. I never clean it. I don't shoot it all that much. I just got the stamp back, you know. It's been maybe 2 or 3 weeks at this point, so I'll shoot it a lot more now. But it stayed pretty clean. It's very easy to clean. It's not difficult. It's about, I don't know, it's a little worse than an AK, but not quite as easy as an AR, I guess. But that's just coming from an AR background. So, if you have any questions, because I'm sure I missed a million things, maybe you don't care, but I just want you to get a close-up and look at this gun. That is the point, okay? This is a nice gun. This is a gun that is worth the money and worth it to SBR. Don't leave it as a pistol. I mean, you can put a pistol brace on it if you want to carry it around your car and some shit. But in all honesty, there's nothing this is only slightly more effective for me than a Glock. This is just fun as hell. This is going to suppress nicely. But, I mean, I can drop a 33 round mag in my Glock and, you know, I'm rocking and rolling. So, this is just cool factor. I highly recommend it. We'll see how the gas in the face does once it's suppressed. And yeah, you know, if you have any questions, just ask. I will be dead honest with you. All right? Thanks, guys.